Stephen Reid from Michell Wool. Good to have you back with us today on Flow.
Absolute pleasure, Ricky.
We had a chat with Voznesenski from Rabobank earlier in the week. He made the prediction that we could be looking at a wool price this year between $13.50 and 1,500 cents a kilogram. Is that kind of like saying we'll have something between the sun rising and the sun setting, or is that a pretty bold prediction?
Oh, look, certainly Rabo do some pretty deep analysis, but you're right, the range there is everything between dusk and dawn, really. Certainly, we don't kind of predict forward years and years. It's just too hard to do. But now looking for the next 3 to 6 months, other fibres are up. Cotton's strong, man-made fibres strong. There is a trend towards natural fibres. It's certainly more positive than negative, which is, I guess, a summary of what Rabo said.
Yeah, and how do we go with the auctions this week? A bit of the same story, some positives more than the negatives?
Well, interesting week, actually. It was a 3-day sale, fair bit of wool up. The opening day was, to use a technical term, pretty wobbly. It actually fell 30 to 40 cents. But then on the Wednesday and on Thursday yesterday, the market really firmed up. So we pretty much closed where we started. The indicator was down 2 Aussie cents. In US dollar terms, because the rates moved, we were actually up 5 US. There was 48,000 bales put up and only 9.7% passed in. So plenty of growers happy with the price and turned wool into cash.
So a healthy amount of trade. Did we see a fair bit of supply coming onto the market, or is there still a fair bit holding back?
Well, there's still delay in shearing. Getting hold of shearers is difficult. Rain, of course, is delaying things, but still 48 to 49,000 bales up next week. So we're up to probably some of the biggest sales we've seen. And to see the markets firm with that volume is a pretty positive sign. Yeah,
well, some positive signs from that chat with Voznesenski also about the intentions of people heading out to buy themselves a new suit, going back to the workplace after they've been working from home. Is that one of the injections into the market's optimism?
Absolutely. Now, if you look at the real fundamentals of supply, and the wool clip is going up slowly, but lots of logistical issues, so people are refilling the supply chain. Then if you look at the fundamental demand, which is consumer demand for apparel, people are being obliged to go back to work, and we see that happening in the eastern states here. I'm sure South Australia will catch up. And interestingly enough, apparel that's 3 and 4 years old isn't going to do the job, so people are out there restocking their wardrobes and getting out, and that should be putting a bit of pressure on that consumer demand, which is, again, a positive sign.
Yeah, I guess it's more work apparel and uniforms that we find wool in rather than people going night clubbing. I saw a graphic the other day about dancing and singing still banned in South Australia, but not in the rest of the country. Does wool find its way on the dance floor sometimes?
Well, it's been a very long time since I've been at a nightclub, but when I remember back, most people weren't wearing terribly much. So I don't think there's too much wool used in nightclubs.
It's more the synthetic stuff from what I remember. Let's look at the auctions for next week. What, you got a fair bit up again?
Yep, exactly. Almost 50,000 bales up again, 3 centres selling. Should be a pretty positive market.
All right, always good to finish on a positive note. Thanks, Stephen, for your input today, and we'll keep tracking this every week here on Flow. Thanks again.
Fantastic. Thanks for your interest, Ricky. Keep well.